The Red Hot Clearance event is on right now at Burlington, and I'm excited for the markdowns. It's all about savings on top of savings throughout the store. This is when I stock up on styles for my closet, home decor, and much more because there's up to 70% off other retailers' prices on clearance. I mean, I'm going every day because these prices, too hot to miss. Burlington. Deals, brands, wow. Styles and selections may vary by location.
If your roof starts to leak or your floor's really squeaky, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888 Money Pit.
The Money Pit is presented by RoofMax Roof Restoration Treatment and Ladera by Pavestone. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti. Thank you so much for joining us during your 4th of July weekend. If you're lucky enough to be in your 3-day weekend, well, we hope you're having a great time enjoying your Money Pit with your family and friends. I'm here with my good friend Jim Kenzie, senior producer and super smart dude here at the Money Pit.
Oh, gee, thanks, Leslie. Do I owe you money or something?
Again, I told you the compliments will keep flowing, so just keep the checks coming. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Jimmy.
Thank you. Likewise.
All right. Well, Jim and I have a great show planned for you guys this hour. We've got a lot of great tips to help you achieve your design dreams. So coming up, do you want to make a small room feel bigger without knocking down a single wall? Well, the secret is in the paint. Coming up, we're going to share some smart color tricks that can open up your space, boost light, and make any room feel more spacious with just a few strokes of a brush. And also ahead, QUIKRETE is celebrating 85 years of innovation. And we're talking with Jeff Russell, who's been with the company himself for more than 3 decades. From the iconic yellow and red bags to game-changing project tips for your home, Jeff shares how QUIKRETE makes DIY concrete work easier, faster, and more durable than ever. That conversation's coming up. Don't miss it. And is your grill game ready for the summer? If you're dreaming of smoky flavors, sizzle, and that perfect sear, we have got you covered. Coming up, we're breaking down what makes a barbecue truly amazing, from must-have features to the best fuel source, and how to design your own outdoor kitchen around it. Plus, this is a big show, you guys. We've got a great giveaway going out to one lucky listener drawn at random from those who reach out with a question. We've got a $25 gift card to Ladera so you can work on some great masonry projects around your outdoor spaces. So call us now at 888-MONEY-PIT for the answer to your home improvement question and for your chance to win. Jim, who do we have first today?
All right, Leslie, we've got Carolyn in Pennsylvania holding, and she's doing some organizing, finding a stubborn cabinet odor. Ugh. What's going on, Carolyn?
Well, yes, what we have is a cabinet in our kitchen. It is underneath our countertop. We have a granite countertop, and it's our Lazy Susan. It's the cabinet in the corner. And about 1.5 years ago, we had moved temporarily out of state for my husband's job. And apparently I might have, right before leaving, cleaned a dish and put it in that cabinet, and maybe, I'm assuming, it wasn't completely dry all the way. And then when we returned from our 3 months away, lo and behold, every time we'd come into the kitchen, my husband said, "There's some kind of a smell here." And then we ended up opening this cabinet, and lo and behold, there was a little green just haze on, and it was mold. So there's no more mold in it, but there's still this sort of lingering kind of a musty smell.
You have a guess, Jim? What's your guess?
Dead mouse.
I mean, anytime there's a funky smell, I'm always like, rodent? Is there a dead rodent somewhere?
Exactly.
And it's definitely, I mean, maybe it's just because, I'm a New Yorker. When I smell something like blah, I'm like, oh God, there's an animal under a desk somewhere in a cabinet. We better find it. But no, it could be that when you put that wet dish back in the cupboard and close the door, and of course the kitchen cabinet is generally to the exterior wall, maybe it was warm and that dish got a little like muggy in the cabinet, and then all of a sudden it went through and became like moldy. But you have to be careful because it could have spread mold to an area under the cabinet. You just kind of have to look around and see what's going on, because it could just be that the mold has spread to areas that you haven't been able to see, or maybe maybe you just can't get to it. Like maybe it's behind a kickboard. Maybe it's behind some sort of a trim. I mean, I don't know how much moisture you got in there, but if you've closed that door and that plate is wet and it's warm, it's going to kind of get steamy and have a lot of moisture and condensation in there. And then it's going to be more wet, even though that plate might not have been totally wet. So I think that's what you need to do. You have to look at the kickboard on the floor. You have to look in the areas that maybe you're just not seeing, and then clean everything with bleach, water, let it dry really well, keep those cabinet doors open, and then maybe you want to paint the interior if that smell still persists, but hopefully at that point you've gone and gotten rid of all of that mold or mildew growth.
Yeah, because of the inserts where the Lazy Susan, where it kind of turns around the turntable. I kind of did my best, but yeah. And the kickboard. Well, thank you very much. That's great.
All right. Well, good luck with that project that you hadn't planned on doing. Aren't those always the fun ones, Jim, when you're like, look, I'm doing something great. And then all of a sudden you're like, now I have to do a million other things because that great thing was dumb.
Or my 6 favorite words, all you got to do is...
All right. It happens to us all. You know, you see a couch, a lamp, a rug online that's just perfect for the room that you are working on. And then you see the price tag and consider your budget. Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret called dupe.com. It is ridiculously easy to use. All you have to do is type dupe.com / before any URL, and it instantly shows you similar products with the same look, but at more affordable pricing options. And these aren't sketchy knockoffs either. Here's the thing. Most people don't realize that a lot of furniture sold online is all produced in the exact same factories as those expensive name brand items. Now, those factories sell to different brands under different names who then list them for different prices. I have seen this all the time. Literally, I just bought a coffee table the other day for $99 using dupe.com that I saw on other websites for like $150, $250. And I kid you not, it was the exact same table. Dupe.com automatically lists these less expensive alternatives. You're going to get the look you want and the price you want. Dupe is one of the most viral shopping hacks on TikTok. Millions of people have already used Dupe to save money, and it's 100% free to use. That $5,000 cloud sofa that you just don't think you can justify, that beautiful mid-century dresser you've had bookmarked forever, Dupe is going to find a similar item, sometimes even the same item, for 60, 70, even 80% off. With Dupe.com, you can finally decorate the house of your dreams without going broke. Go to Dupe.com today and find similar products for less. It's 100% free to use, so stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with Dupe.com today. That's DUPE.com. Check it out today.
Okay, Leslie, now in New Jersey, we've got Jason, and he's got a countertop issue. What's going on with you out there, Jason?
I'm renovating my kitchen, and I don't have the money for new countertops. Can you recommend a coating that I can use for countertops for the kitchen that will stand up to wear and tear?
Yeah, Jason, you know, there's a lot of great products out there that are meant for exactly this purpose, to revamp, refinish, cover up a yucky, good, countertop that's in good condition, just like something you don't like the color of. Daish Coatings is a fantastic manufacturer of wonderful products. They have one called Lux Rock, and that's meant to give you the look of a granite finish. And it's truly amazing because when you do it, and you don't have to be an artist, the kit is very user-friendly. It will end up with a surface that looks exactly like granite. It's super durable. It's easy to do. Check out their website, daishcoatings.com. That's DAICH. There's another one called Marble Dream that has the look of marble. You can have something that looks like terrazzo. There's so many options on their website, and I promise that you will have a wonderful result regardless of your artistic skill level. I'm not saying you're not a good artist. I just don't know. All right, Jason. So check them out. You'll find something that looks really great. And as long as your countertop is in good shape, there's nothing's broken, there's no chunks coming out of it, whatnot, it's going to really look nice. All right. Good luck with that. Artiste. Hey, you want to make our day? Well, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll be jumping for joy. Plus, you guys, your feedback helps us make the show even better for you. Just go to moneypit.com/review. Happy 4th of July weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey guys, are you looking to freshen up your outdoor space this summer? I know it's 4th of July and you should already be in tip-top shape out there, but there is still opportunities to enhance your outdoor spaces. And one of the easiest ways to elevate your yard or your patio is by creating zones. You can kind of have these small outdoor rooms for dining, lounging, gardening, and you can sort of set the stage with a rug or a row of pavers to define the space, then maybe add some comfy seating, some string lights, some planters for color and texture. Remember to keep all of those materials light and natural, like wood, canvas, stone. All of that will give you that breezy summer-ready vibe. And speaking of stone, do you want to give your yard a serious style upgrade fast? Well, we're giving away a $25 gift card to Ladera, the genius stackable stone system that looks like dry stack, but it installs in minutes. No cuts, no special tools. You just adhere, stack, and level. And it's perfect for building fire pits or garden beds or seat walls. I mean, you name it, you can do it here. Now, each piece is made from durable precast concrete, and it comes in one easy size, but that size has 7 unique face patterns and built-in joints. So you're going to get that custom high-end look without that custom price tag. So whether you're building a garden bed, a fire pit, a column, Ladera makes it fast, easy, and stylish. And the best part is you could get started for free with this $25 gift card. So give us a call at 888-MONEY-PIT with your question for your chance to win. Jim, which lucky caller is up next?
That would be our next lucky caller, Leslie.
Lucky caller number 1. Hello.
Funny how that works. We have a ceiling fan question, Leslie, from Marie, north of the border in Ontario. What's happening there, Marie?
Well, actually, I'm in a floor ranch, okay? Just a good concrete crawl space that's insulated. No problem down there. My furnace is down there. But I would like to know, please, is it financially better off to use ceiling fans and just have the fan on, my air conditioner fan on, or run the air conditioner itself?
Yeah, I mean, that's tricky. I always like to use a ceiling fan. I mean, I live in a very small house, but I have air conditioning issues to everybody else. Charlie's room is always hot. Henry's room doesn't seem to have the air moving. And it's like we have one return out in the hallway and everybody's doors are undercut. But for some reason, we have issues with balancing. So I do use ceiling fans to just kind of help move the cool air around in case we're just not getting enough out of the vent fans. But, you know, you have to look at some other ways, because an air conditioning, if it's not doing the right job or if it's not running efficiently, isn't going to be great. And a fan definitely isn't going to do the same job of cooling the whole house. So it's not really the best way to move air around that entire house, especially when you've got like a big ranch. So, I mean, let's think about it. You can maybe enlarge the vents in your attic to make sure that your attic is actually exhausting the air, so that if it's a little warm outside, the inside of the house is just getting the air out. And that's really when you open the windows, it kind of helps with that whole house fan. Because I think you're talking about ceiling fans, but maybe you're talking about a whole house fan. So with the whole house fan, it's going to do a better job than ceiling fans of moving air around. But the whole house fan, if you sort of put it on when it's just kind of stagnant and sticky in the house, and you open the window so it's going to pull the outside air in and then up through the house so it kind of circulates, that's going to kind of help you delay having to put on your air conditioning. So from an efficiency standpoint, that's going to do a wonderful job. I mean, even when it's cool outside, it does a beautiful job of moving things around. In terms of the air conditioner itself, I think if you were to limit the amount of time you use it, maybe you could trade off between the whole house, the ceiling fan, the air conditioning. I mean, either way, you're looking for some ways to save money. So I would sort of delay putting on the air conditioning until you've kind of moved some of that warmer air out with the whole house fan, and then maybe keep the air conditioning on low with a higher temp and just kind of move that air around with the ceiling fan.
I meant like my furnace fan itself, not using the AC.
My furnace fan.
Oh, wait, you're talking about a furnace fan. I mean, that definitely does not make any sense to use. That's a super expensive way to get air through your house, okay?
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much. I didn't mean to be ignorant.
Yeah, a whole house fan. I mean, you want to suck that air up through the house, and don't confuse this with an attic fan. We're not talking about that little silver genie hat fan, right? That's what they look like to me outside of the house. A whole house fan will do a better job of moving that air out and helping move the stagnant air out and just giving you a little bit of respite from having to use the air conditioner all the time.
Well, God bless you.
Also, you're in Canada. Hopefully it's much cooler there than everywhere else. It's hot in the lower North America.
Hope that helps you out. Thanks for calling the Money Pit, Marie.
Well, if you've got a room in your house that feels cramped or closed in, here's some good news. You don't need a renovation to make it feel bigger. With the right paint color and a few simple tricks, you can create the illusion of more space, more light, even more height, all without swinging a single hammer. So let's start with the classics. Light colors, soft pale shades like white, cream, soft gray, cool pastels. These are going to reflect more light than a dark color would, and that's going to make that room feel more open and airy instantly. So think pale blue for a breezy feel, soft sage green for a calming touch, or off-white with warm undertones to give you that sort of cozy, expanded vibe. Now, here's a counterintuitive trick. If you want to create a sense of depth, paint the ceiling the same color as the walls, or if you can't commit to that, just go a shade lighter. Now, this is going to erase that visual break between the wall and the ceiling, and that's going to make the whole space feel taller, more cohesive. Bonus points if you're using a satin or an eggshell finish, because that will bounce that light around the room even more. Now, if you've got a room that's long and narrow, you want to try painting the short walls a slightly darker color than the long walls, because that's going to draw the eye inward and sort of balance out the proportions of the space, and that will make it feel less like a hallway and more like a cozy retreat. Now, if you want to stretch a low ceiling, because sometimes a room can feel short, vertical stripes definitely help, but here's a new one, a two-tone wall, where you kind of divide the wall, but the lighter color is on the top. That's going to trick the eye into thinking that that room has more height. If the room feels kind of tight, do the same with horizontal stripes, because that will widen a room. And that's perfect if you've got a small dining room or a narrow bedroom. And here's one more pro move. Don't forget the trim. You want to paint the baseboards and the crown molding in a bright white, or one tone of that color of the walls lighter, because that contrast, even though it could be minimal if you're going tone on tone, creates a crisp, clean frame that makes the walls feel like they're receding, and that gives you even more sense of space. So there's lots of ways you can do this. So the next time you're ready to freshen up your home with paint, remember that the color isn't just about style, it's about space also. And with the right tones and the right places, you can make even the smallest room feel a whole lot bigger.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
With a Venmo debit card, you can Venmo more than just your friends. You can use your balance in so many ways. You can Venmo everything. Need gas? You can Venmo this. How about snacks? You can Venmo that. Your favorite band's merch? You can Venmo this. Or their next show? You can Venmo that. Visit Venmo.me/debit to learn more.
You can Venmo this, or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this, or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo.
The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted. Venmo purchase restrictions apply.
All right, let's get back to our callers. Jim, who's up next?
Well, Leslie, you know, carpenter bees have been known to destroy houses and the day-to-day life of the people living in them. And Kevin can relate to that. We're going to Kevin in Georgia. What's going on there, Kev?
Well, about 10 years ago, we had a screened-in porch built. About 2 years prior to that, we had a privacy fence put up around the backyard. And we have more wood bees, carpenter bees, than I've ever seen in my life. I have 25 traps set up. Every time I turn around, I'm finding more wood bees. I use the wood bee spray. I fill in the holes with wood putty, and the next year or later on in the year, they've just come out in another area. If you have a trick I haven't thought of, I would sure appreciate it.
All right. Well, you're talking about a couple of different kinds of bees here. Carpenter bees are like the large bees with like a big black shiny tushy, and they love to get very close to you and sort of like bombard you but not hurt you, but maybe get you a little scared like they could. But they can't hurt you. They don't have a stinger, but they do love to bore holes into the wood. They're actually eating it, and they're going in there and they're nesting in it, but they're not hurting you. Any other kind of bee, if they're fuzzy and cute, that's a honeybee. If they're segmented and like pointy, that's a wasp or a hornet. So kind of know what you're looking at, but it seems like you're talking about carpenter bees, which there are ways to get rid of them. I mean, you could definitely do a couple of over-the-counter methods. You could fill in those holes and just plug them. Some people put some sort of poison in there to sort of it doesn't necessarily trap them in there, but it does poison it. And when it comes back and forth, they're spreading the poison to others. You could do that. You could also just get rid of anything wood around the property. So all of that trim and fascia board, you could replace it with a composite material. It looks like wood, but it's not. So those carpenter's bees will be pretty confused and go somewhere else. I did that. We took off all of the trim fascia and the trim pieces around my screen and porch and put in Azek. And the carpenter bees hate it, but boy, do they still love to come like beeping around my backyard and trying.
Maybe one day it'll come back.
Is this food now? Nope. I know. I'm going to circle around her head one time before I go to the neighbor's house.
Just to check if she happens to be Pinocchio or not, because if they were...
Yeah. So that's just what carpenter bees do. They're definitely not going to hurt you. You can treat them yourself. You can treat them professionally. You can plug those holes. You can swap out the wood for a composite, but they're really not going to do anything bad to you. All right. Well, good luck with it, whichever way you go. Well, when it comes to summer outdoor projects, concrete can be a huge part of it, from setting deck posts to pouring new walkways. But how do you know which product is the right product for the job? So here to help us sort it all out is Jeff Russell, who's been with QUIKRETE for over 30 years. That's amazing, Jeff. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here. And, I'm starting to feel those 30 years on me as each year passes. So, but thanks again for having me.
We're so glad you're here. I mean, QUIKRETE itself has been around for 85 years, so that's wonderfully exciting. I mean, I wouldn't have thought QUIKRETE was any older than 40 because, well, concrete ages so well.
Yeah, exactly. And, you think about it, when you're walking around, everything you're stepping on, for the most part, unless you're on grass, it's some type of concrete cement type product. It's very durable, consistent, and one of the most durable building products in the industry.
That's amazing. So how do you know when you're approaching a project, how do you know which bag of QUIKRETE is the right bag to go to?
Depending on the time frame you're wanting to get the project done and the application, there's a couple of different ways you can look at that. QUIKRETE has the traditional yellow bag of product that we manufacture, and that's great for pouring a slab. If you're going to pour a slab, a small sidewalk, a patio.
But these are all things that sort of need time to set up. It's not like I'm pouring it and we're stepping on it.
Right, yeah. If you have some time that you can and you need the time to work it, then you want to use like the yellow bag. But if you're looking to set a post and we want to get the job done quickly or be able to walk on it in 30 minutes, we've got the red bag, also known as QUIKRETE Fast Setting Concrete Mix. It's an iconic brand that we established years ago. It was one of our first products we ever made, along with the yellow bag. But this product you can set post with without mixing. You can pour the material into the post hole and then pour water on top of it, and it'll set. You can also pour as a slab or a sidewalk, and you can walk on that in about 30 minutes.
But I imagine, Jeff, if you're doing like a slab or a sidewalk with the red bag, the quick setting, you would really have to be sort of skilled here because you want to make sure that you are getting everything level, smooth, correct, because it is going to have a quicker setting time rather than the yellow bag, correct?
That is correct. Any type of project like that where you want to pour a slab or something like that, it would need to be a smaller type slab that you could get troweled in and set and worked within, 20 to 30 minutes. So absolutely.
I love the red bag for setting a post or even like a post for a mailbox or something like that.
Yeah, mailbox post, basketball goals, fence posts. There's so many uses for it. It makes it so easy to use. that's one of the great things. You don't even have to mix it. You can pour it in the hole and then pour the water on top of it.
Yeah, half of the battle is keeping it level while you're waiting for the yellow bag to set. So the red bag is quick.
Right, exactly. and mixing it, if you don't have to mix it, that's half the battle. You're just pouring it in the hole and pouring the water on top of it.
Tell us a little bit about QuickRete.com. I mean, is there a good source there to sort of look at products, projects that you can sort of pair the two together and sort of help me figure out, a cool project to tackle, and this is the product for it?
Absolutely. At QuickRete.com, we have how-to videos on everything from pouring a sidewalk or a slab to setting a mailbox post or fence post, repairing those areas, anything and everything that has to do with concrete or repairing concrete, you can find at QuickRete.com either documents or videos.
Oh, that's awesome, Jeff. We're talking to Jeff over at QuickRete, who's been with QuickRete for over 30 years. So, Jeff, tell us a little bit how this started for you. How did you first know that this was sort of the direction you wanted to go in and really stick with it and be durable like concrete?
When I graduated college, I wanted to get in sales. I'd always been in sales through college and was fortunate enough to hire on with QuickRete up in East Tennessee, started there, and 30 years later, I'm fortunate enough to still be with them and had a great ride and have a few more years left in me. So,
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, it really is so great, and it just speaks volumes to the product itself because QuickRete is so durable, so reliable, and once you sort of get the knack, it's quite easy to work with, and it is such a useful material for so many reasons. Just the fact that you've been able to grow with this company over all of these years and see it evolve. Have you seen a big difference in the product itself with QuickRete over time, or has it really been just a staple as it is?
What's been the difference is the yellow bag's been a staple throughout. Our owners created that product 85 years ago, and it's been the same product ever since. What's been great is the additional products that the company has come out with that have improved on everything from types of concrete mixes to repairs and how to make projects easier for the homeowner. We've got so many products that will help with that as far as repair and new projects, along with a building material that's one of the strongest in the industry and one of the most durable that's out there. You won't find anything more durable than a concrete.
I love it. And you've really made it simple for the homeowner, especially a beginner DIYer who maybe feels intimidated by the thought of a concrete project, whether it's construction or repair. With QuickRete.com, you really have the information to make it user-friendly and achievable. And that's amazing in its own right.
Yes, I mean, you can get on it, kind of like I use Google today to fix my dishwasher or whatever. You can get online on the QuickRete website, and if you need to set a post and you're unsure how deep that and wide that hole needs to be to set that post, we've got directions on how to do all of that. The depth and then how many bags that you need. There's calculators on the website that you determine how many bags you're going to need. And it's not as intimidating as a homeowner may think. We've made it pretty easy.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking with QuickRete for all these years, and we thank QuickRete for sticking with us and being as strong as it is.
Well, thank you all so much. Certainly do appreciate the time.
All right. If you want some more information, guys, head on over to QuickRete.com where you can get a ton of ideas for projects and the correct product to tackle that project with. Thanks again, Jeff. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you went on a road trip and you didn't stop for a Big Mac or drop a crispy fry between the car seats or use your McDonald's bag as a placemat, then that wasn't a road trip. It was just a really long drive. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Spotify. That's greenlight.com/Spotify.
Has your garden already finished its spectacular spring bloom? Well, if that garden's looking a little tired, here's an easy summer refresh. You want to cut back those leggy annuals like petunias or coleus because they do get kind of like tall and weird at some point. So cut those down by a third and then give them a good drink of water and some fertilizer. And probably within a week's time, they're going to bounce back fuller and more vibrant than ever, just in time for your next barbecue or backyard gathering. And if you really want to elevate your outdoor space, we're giving away a $25 gift card to Ladera. You can check them out at pavestone.com. There's so many beautiful different products here in the Ladera family. It's a genius stackable stone system that looks like dry stack, but it installs in minutes. No cuts, no special tools. You just adhere, stack, and level. So it's really perfect for fire pits, garden beds, seat walls, columns. Ladera makes it fast and easy and super stylish. And the best part here is you could get that project started with a little help from your friends here at the Money Pit in the form of a $25 gift card. So give us a call at 888-MONEY-PIT with your question and your chance to win. Well, nothing says summer like the 4th of July weekend and firing up that grill, but if you're shopping for a new barbecue or you're looking to upgrade your setup, the options definitely can be overwhelming. So what makes a grill great? Let's break it down. First up, we're going to talk about the fuel type because you really have three main choices: charcoal, gas, or pellet. Now, a charcoal grill gives you that classic smoky flavor and the high heat searing, but they do take longer to heat up. They require more cleanup. A gas grill, especially propane or natural gas, are super convenient. I love just turning a knob and getting to cooking. They heat up fast. They're easier to control, so win-win all around. But pellet grills are also gaining in popularity here. They burn compressed wood pellets, and that gives you both flavor and precision with digital temperature control, and they're great for low and slow cooking, like if you like to do brisket or ribs. Now, let's talk about what features are great. So you want to look for stainless steel burners. They're going to last longer and they're going to resist corrosion. You're also going to want even heat distribution. So check for those flame tamers or ceramic briquettes. Side burners are great if you like to do everything outside, like simmering sauces or heating up the side dishes. And if you're serious about entertaining, maybe you're looking at things like a built-in thermometer, rotisserie attachments, warming racks. So lots of stuff's there. And don't sleep on those easy-to-clean grease management systems because, trust me, it makes the cleanup so much easier, but it is something that sort of boosts the cost of the grill. But trust me, your future self, when cleaning a messy grill, will thank you. Or when you're not cleaning that messy grill, I should say. Now, how do you make this grill choice part of your real outdoor kitchen? It's really about flow and function. So you want to start with a dedicated prep space. Even if it's just a small counter area, that can make a huge difference. You want to add storage for tools, seasonings, extra fuel. You want to maybe consider installing a sink or a mini fridge if your budget will allow that. And then you also need to think about how you move while you're cooking. Just like your good indoor kitchen, you want zones for prep, for cooking, for serving, for chilling. And finally, it's the same as the indoor kitchen, maybe even more so because you want it to be a space where people want to hang out, you want to gather. So try to make that space accommodating for the visitors who are hanging out with you while you're grilling. You can add some string lights, bar stools, maybe a pergola for shade, and suddenly this grill becomes the heart of your summer entertaining setup. So whether you're a weekend burger boss or you're a full-blown pit master, the right barbecue setup can turn your yard into your favorite room of the house without a single wall. All right, let's get cooking. Jim, who's up next?
All right, out in Arkansas, Pat's dealing with the humid house. What's going on there?
Well, I have a new heat pump, and it's not taking out the humidity. Of course, I live in a humid area, but I just wondered, it's supposed to take out the humidity, as I understood.
Well, not really. Air conditioners in general, like a central air conditioner, which is essentially what a heat pump is, are not designed to be dehumidifiers. They do dehumidify by the virtue of the fact that they're cooling the air, but they're not as effective as other forms of dehumidifiers. There's a couple of other ones that you could consider. One is a whole house dehumidifier, and that's built into the HVAC system itself. It gets put into the duct system, and then it takes about 90 pints of water out a day. Then there's those freestanding dehumidifiers that you kind of put in the basement. They're good for the areas that they're in. If you put it in the basement, it does a great job of getting the moisture out of that area. If you put it in a bedroom that seems to be more humid, it does the same there. But it's not going to do a large area. And then you have to remember you have to empty out that bucket every day, sometimes multiple times a day, depending on what the weather is.
Okay. What is the average humidity supposed to be in the house?
I mean, I don't know, like 30 to 50% possibly? I would say maybe 40% to be safe.
Okay.
And if you put a good dehumidifier in and then maybe even set that up with a humidistat so that it will kick on whenever the house reaches a certain moisture level. And that way you'll always know what the moisture is in the house, and then it comes on and helps you regulate the extra moisture as needed.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, I thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, Pat. Thanks so much for calling us. Now is Jim's favorite part of the show, where he intros the emails, and then I try to answer them real quick because sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. That's why Jim and I are a good team. We can figure it out together.
Aha.
So who's up, Jim?
Well, I'm being bombarded by gals from Long Island, evidently.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Over here, we've got Caitlin from New York, and you probably know her because she lives near you, Leslie. She says, my parents' house was built in 1820. It's had renovations over the years, but recently it's become difficult for my parents to take care of it, and it's falling into disrepair. I kind of want to step up and try to help out the best I can, starting in the bathroom, and that has some water damage. My question is, I knew she'd get to the question eventually. My question is, what should I be on the lookout for in a house built in the 1820s? Basically everything?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you're on the right track. And by the way, hello, Long Island friend Caitlin. I'm sure we're going to bump into each other getting bagels or pizza, because that's what we do on Long Island. But if you've got water that's getting in through the bathroom walls because they're not sealed properly, you're going to find that that can cause deep rot and even mold. So opening up those walls, you might have to replace the insulation, rebuild them. That's kind of the smart thing. Of course, you have to identify where that leak is coming from. And when it comes to a house of that age, could be a bunch of stuff like older pipes, maybe older wiring. Those are things that definitely have issues around the house of that age. But concentrate on the core mechanical systems in the structure before you do anything that's cosmetic. And Caitlin, you may not have enough power for more modern appliances, so check to make sure that you have enough amperage coming into the house if you do go to update some of those things.
If summer pests are bugging you, literally, you're going to want to hear this. Leslie has some natural, easy ways to keep mosquitoes, ants, and more out of your backyard so you can actually enjoy your time outside. In Leslie's last word.
Yeah, you know, if your backyard is being overrun by mosquitoes, ants, other uninvited guests, don't rush for that chemical spray just yet. There's some great natural ways that you can reclaim your space, and you may have some of the stuff already at home. So let's start with the plants. Citronella, lavender, basil, mint, and lemongrass aren't just beautiful, they're natural bug repellents. So you can tuck them into pots around the patio or near the doors or by your windows, and that's going to help keep the mosquitoes at bay, and it's also going to look great. If you have ants, diatomaceous earth. You've probably never heard about this before, but it's a fine powder and it's made from fossilized algae that's safe for humans and pets, but it's deadly for insects. So you want to sprinkle it around trouble spots like a pathway or plant doors or that little ledge of the stone wall that the ants love to gather at. Whatever it is, this can do the trick very well. Now, you can also mix up a spray of vinegar, like white vinegar, not salad dressing here, folks. White vinegar, water, and a few drops of peppermint or eucalyptus oil. This does a great job on surfaces where bugs like to hang out. So think about like deck railings, door frames, not on something porous like stone or brick, but definitely wood, metal, those types of spaces this will work very well on. And here's a bonus tip. If you eliminate standing water anywhere you can, and I'm not talking about like a kiddie pool, I'm talking about like an overturned frisbee or like a flower pot tray, all those little puddles mosquitoes love, and they can become a mosquito nursery in no time. And that tiny little bit of water can breed hundreds of mosquitoes super quick. So take these few steps, try these natural remedies. With a few smart swaps, you can keep your yard relaxing, chemical free, and summer ready. Coming up next week, guys, are you looking to save some green while going green this summer? Well, we've got easy, affordable projects that you can tackle around the house that will shrink your energy bills, cut back on waste, and help the planet, all without calling in a contractor. That's coming up on the next Money Pit. Remember, guys, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. See you next week.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show. Pick up the telephone. Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT. Woo!
Federal missions demand efficiency. At GDIT, efficiency means streamlining government operations, automating citizen services, and saving the government over $1 billion a year detecting and preventing fraud. We bring proven AI, cloud, and software development solutions to the forefront of driving efficiencies, delivering savings of up to 40%. Because at GDIT, efficiency isn't just possible, it's built in. Learn more at gdit.com.
Did you know using your browser in incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? Take back your privacy with IPVanish VPN. Just one tap and all your data, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be instantly protected. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. Use IPVanish on all your devices, anytime you go online at home and especially on public Wi-Fi. Get IPVanish now for 70% off a yearly plan with this exclusive offer at ipvanish.com/audio.